Hello, and welcome to Classic Violins. We are known, of course, for our instruments, bows, and cases, the major accessories that you need when learning to play an instrument, but there are all kinds of other excellent accessories that will make playing an instrument and learning to play an instrument a lot easier on yourself. We occasionally get asked for recommendations, what would be good additional supplies for musicians, and here today I'm going to go over a few different supplies and items that we have available for sale that we really like and would recommend to all players. The first item we'll take a look at is a very popular item, but one that is oftentimes overlooked or forgotten by players, and that is the humble cleaning cloth. Cleaning your instrument and wiping it down a little bit every time you finish playing and put it away not only is sanitary and makes the instrument look nicer, but removing the extra acidic rosin from the top of your instrument and from your strings can help your strings last longer and also help protect your varnish in the long run. Getting into habits where you wipe your instrument down before you put it away is similar to getting into good habits like brushing your teeth every morning and night. It helps keep things clean, and the more you get into the routine, the better it will be in the long run. This can also save you money in the long run from having your instrument cleaned and polished, as it keeps that residual dust and rosin and dead skin off of your instrument as well. We have a nice cleaning cloth that we like to offer here. It's a nice soft microfiber material that will not scratch the rosin, or excuse me, not scratch the varnish of your instrument, but will safely remove rosin from it. Another accessory that we highly recommend for all musicians, and especially people that own their own instruments, is some kind of humidity control device. We have lots of different options available, anything from these Oasis-style humidifiers, which are something that you have to fill with water and then store in your case. They are very foolproof. They do not leak if you secure them correctly, so don't worry about that aspect of it. But another simple item as well that we really like and has become very popular is by a company called Boveda. Boveda makes these humidifying pouches that are filled with a moistened gel medium that literally all you have to do is just remove it from these plastic packages and store it in your case. It will automatically release the amount of humidity that they are designed to produce. This one is 49%, which is a very comfortable humidity level for instruments, and it will simply keep releasing the humidity into the case to keep your instrument at a good humidity level. But the nice thing is also it wants to equalize, so if it gets too humid, it will try and absorb some of that moisture back into itself, also protecting your instrument. These are a little more expensive, but if you are worried about your own diligence, remembering to fill, say, a water humidifier, something like this is a really good kind of set it and forget it option, and they are very effective. We get asked routinely about how to tune your instrument and how to go about learning that process. Indeed, learning to tune an instrument is an art in and of itself, and there are all kinds of products that are available to help make this easier. While there are several apps available on telephones and online that you can look up that you can go through for this, it's very hard to beat a traditional chromatic tuner. Tuners like this are designed to either produce a reference pitch that you can tune up to, or they are designed like this one, the wonderful Korg tuners, that when you play your instrument into them, the tuner will automatically recognize what note you are closest to, and it will indicate with a little sweeping needle how close or how far away you are from that pitch. So it's a good way to be able to visually see if you are coming into tune. All you have to do is just play your instrument into this, put it next to your instrument while playing. They do also produce a clip-on microphone that you can plug into this and also clip on to, say, your bridge, that allows that vibration to be picked up even more accurately, especially if you are trying to tune in a noisy environment. Korg also makes versions of this that include a metronome, which is really awesome to have all in one as a tuner and metronome combination, which gives you a lot of flexibility in your practice and instrument tuning schedule as well. If you live in an apartment or other small area with lots of neighbors, or perhaps a college dorm, practicing and not annoying your neighbors can sometimes become a concern. Or if you are on such a schedule that you need to routinely practice late at night and don't want to wake up your household. For this, there's a variety of mutes that you can use for your instrument. Many of you may already be familiar with orchestral mutes used when playing in the orchestra, little things that live on the instrument and just slide up or are attached to slightly mute the sound of the instrument. But additionally, there are these great things which are called practice mutes. These are very heavy. They're kind of a solid metal core that are wrapped in a nice soft rubber, and these will sit directly on top of the bridge. You can see the little cutouts here where your strings would go through. These sit onto the bridge, and they provide an incredible amount of muting power. Now, it slightly changes the timbre of your instrument, of course, but it also cuts the volume almost in half, if not a little bit more, which is really handy, like I said, if you are having to practice late at night and consider other people in your household, or in some place like an apartment or a dorm that may have some noise restrictions. These are fairly inexpensive and are a great thing to experiment with your instrument, especially if you are under such practice restrictions. Just like it's bad for your eyes to be reading in the dark without proper light, it is also just as bad to be practicing in the dark without proper light. There are all kinds of lamps and things people will use to increase the light in their studio, but if you are in such a place where outlets are unavailable, or you don't want to deal with extension cords or other things like that, or even if you are on stage performing, there are really excellent LED clip-on battery-powered stand lights which clip onto your music stand and allow you to position the light just where you need it onto your sheet music, but not so much that it's also drowning out or overpowering anybody else around you. This particular design we really like. It has two LED arms that you can position in different places to get both sides of your score if you're reading off of it. It's very lightweight, and because it's flexible, it's easy to position and also to store inside of your case. And finally, the last item we'll take a look at today is one that we really like, and we recommend for new players and beginners, anybody who is learning the instrument and starting to dive into music. Learning to read music and learning to play the instrument is a lot like learning a different language. There are lots of signs, symbols, and the positions of the notes on the staff are something that everybody has to master at some point. To that end, we found these really excellent sets of flashcards, which are really great for some involved study and practice for younger musicians or for older musicians to reflect and to refresh their memory on these different terms as well. There's a number of different cards in here that have different styles, everything from identifying different clefs and different notes on the staff. On the back of each card is written the name of the note, and also where it sits on the staff and where it sits in the piano keyboard, which is a great way to memorize note names and positions. There is also a set which includes different types of notes. For example, a dotted half note. It talks a little bit about counting these off as well, great for identification. We also have musical terms as far as tempo markings and things, which anybody of any age can always do to review. Again, on the back it describes what it is and what it means. There are also different types of musical note markings. For example, in this case, tied notes, which explain on the back how it is used and what it means, things that will show up in musical punctuation. And also even cards for interval training, for identifying, looking at notes on a staff and picking out what the interval between the two notes are. Again, on the back it describes what they are for easy reference. These are a great resource for parents that maybe aren't musical themselves but would like to help be involved in their child's musical education. For kids to pick up to be able to quiz each other within the household, or just for, some fun musical trivia setup, pulling these things up and seeing how much you actually remember. All of these accessories and more are currently available at both of our locations in Mundelein and Kenosha, Wisconsin. As I said, this is only a small sampling of some of the different accessories that we have, and if there's something that you would be interested in or a particular solution you are trying to find, we'd love to hear from you and help connect you with some of the right supplies to reach your musical goals. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great day.